If you're getting bored with a regular TV, a screen that does nothing more than display whatever you plug into it, and you don't feel like spending more money on an expensive TV box or a brand new smart TV, there's actually a much simpler solution. And it might already be sitting somewhere in your house. Old office PC, the kind of computers people throw away or sell for almost nothing. You can find them everywhere. Local marketplaces, secondhand stores, even forgotten in a corner of someone's garage. And the best part? You might already have one. A dusty old PC that hasn't been turned on in years. Before you spend money on a smart TV, let me show you something interesting. Because what we're about to do with this old computer might completely change the way you look at it. Basically, a smart TV is just an all-in-one computer built into a television. But the processor inside most smart TVs is usually a small ARM-based SoC, similar to what you'd find in a smartphone. Because of that, even an old PC, no matter how weak it seems, can often replace a smart TV, and sometimes even perform better. And the reason I say that is pretty simple. The chips inside many smart TV are actually quite slow. Opening apps can feel sluggish, some applications or websites simply aren't supported, and the whole experience can feel very limited, not to mention the other annoyances. Many smart TV fill the home screen with ads, and some manufacturers even collect viewing data from users. That's something a lot of people don't realize. Turning an old computer into a media system is a great way to give that hardware a second life and keep it from becoming e-waste. It can also be surprisingly convenient, especially for older family members or people who aren't very comfortable with technology. Once everything is set up, you can simply connect a large hard drive to store movies, TV shows, or even family videos. And this right here is a Dell Optiplex 7020. Inside, it's running an Intel Pentium G3240 with 8 GB of RAM. But honestly, you don't even need that much. If your system only has 4 GB of RAM, that's perfectly fine for what we're doing here. Tasks like watching movies or streaming videos don't require a lot of system resources. Most of the time, 4 GB is more than enough. You also don't need a large SSD or hard drive. In fact, you can run everything from a small drive. Something like 16 GB or 32 GB is usually sufficient. Now, if you're using an older PC like this one, there's a good chance it doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi. If you want wireless connectivity, you can simply grab a USB Wi-Fi adapter from places like Amazon. Of course, you can always use a wired Ethernet connection instead. It works perfectly well. It's just a bit less clean visually since you'll have a cable running to your TV setup. Alright, let's start the installation. First, head over to the website of LibreELEC and download their application. This is their official flashing tool. Since I'm currently using Windows, I'll download the Windows version. Once the download is finished, just double-click it to launch the application. As I mentioned earlier, the tool is designed to be very easy to use. From the drop-down menu, select Version, then choose generic AMD/Intel, which is the version made specifically for standard PCs. Next, we need to download the system image. You can click Show All or download older versions, but I recommend sticking with the recommended version. Click Download, then choose where you want to save the file. I'll save mine on the desktop, but you can pick any location you prefer. Let's give it a moment for the download to finish. The file is only about 275 megabytes, so it shouldn't take very long. Once the download is complete, the tool will automatically detect the file for us. If you already have a different installation image, you can simply click Select File and choose it manually. Next, select the USB drive you want to use for installing LibreELEC. Then click Write Image and choose Write to begin flashing the image to the USB. A warning will appear telling you that all data on the USB will be erased, so make sure there's nothing important on it. Click Yes to continue. The writing process will take a short moment, and that's it. It's finished. Now comes the fun part. Plug the USB drive into the old PC you want to turn into a media center. As I mentioned earlier, this machine doesn't even have a hard drive installed, so everything will run directly from the USB. To boot from the USB, we need to open the boot menu. On this Dell Optiplex 7020, I just press F12 and select the USB drive from the list. I've also connected a keyboard and mouse to make the initial setup easier. When the system starts, select Run to launch the system directly from the USB. From now on, whenever you turn on the PC, it will boot straight into Kodi inside LibreELEC. The initial setup is very straightforward. You can change the language, give your device a name, and configure Wi-Fi if needed. In my case, I'm using Ethernet for a more stable connection. And this is the Kodi interface, our new media center. Everything runs surprisingly smoothly, even on an old computer. From here, you can install add-ons by going to Install from Repository. There are tons of extensions available for movies, music, TV shows, and even games. Just pick the add-on you want, click Install, and Kodi will download and set it up automatically. Once the installation is finished, go back to the add-ons section and all the extensions you installed will appear there. Let's try one out. I'll open Red Bull TV and see if there's something interesting to watch. Wow, the image quality actually looks pretty good. Everything seems to run smoothly. Let's switch to an F1 racing program. Yeah, that looks great too. The video is sharp and fluid with no noticeable lag. Honestly, I got pretty lucky with this setup. With the Intel Pentium G3240 and 8 GB of RAM, streaming video works surprisingly well. I can also watch videos on YouTube without any issues. From here, you can explore whatever content you want. Kodi has many legal add-ons available, and if you want, you can even install full builds with pre-configured content. And if you ever get stuck during setup, a quick Google search will usually give you plenty of helpful guides. But Kodi isn't just for movies and TV shows, you can also play games on it. Here I have an Xbox-style controller, and I'll connect it using a USB cable. You can also connect controllers via Bluetooth or a USB dongle if your system supports it. To make the controller work properly, we need to configure the buttons. Go to Settings, select Input, then open Configure Attached Controllers. From there, choose your controller type and map the buttons. Now I'll try a simple built-in game. 2048. The button response is accurate and everything works quite nicely. That said, it's worth mentioning that while Kodi can run games, the experience isn't as complete or stable as something like Batokera. If your goal is a dedicated retro gaming system, Batokera would definitely be the better option. And I've actually made a full tutorial about it before. If you want to play more games in Kodi, you'll need to install emulators. Go to Add-ons, Game Add-ons, Emulators. You'll find many different emulators there. For example, I'll install the Nintendo Entertainment System emulator so we can play NES games. Next, we need to add the game files to Kodi. Go to Settings, Arrow System Information, Arrow Network, and note the IP address of your Kodi device. Then switch to your Windows PC, open File Explorer, and type that IP address, starting with 2 backslashes. Once you access the Kodi shared folder, you can simply copy your game files into any folder you want. In my case, I created an NES folder inside the emulator directory and copied the games there. Now go back to Kodi, open Game Arrow Add, Games Arrow Browse, and select the folder where you copied the ROMs. Confirm it, and Kodi will automatically detect the games, and that's it. Now we can play some classic NES games, and after testing a few, everything runs pretty smoothly. So with that, we've successfully turned this old PC into a full home entertainment system. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel.